Hello there, Wargamers. This is Deleon Francis 60 here, and I'm doing Hot Wars, Battle for Oil, Art of Tactics, Hot Wars. It's a game from Zvezda. Yeah, most of you don't know that Zvezda is a model company from Russia. They make some models. Some of my models, if you see my dioramas, they have like Zvezda on them. Um, I use Sylvester on my models, but they also make some board games, and this is their Art of Tactics system. This is first time I got into the Art of Tactics system. It uses hex-based infantry, um, similar to Axis and Allies, but it's a lot more different. So it has a hex base with more details. Um, this I've been trying to get this thing reviewed for a year now. I got it like during the summer, last summer, like around June, I believe, and it took me a while to get here. And I finally finished painting all of them I have. This is currently the units they have on the market. All the units I have completed every units from the miniatures and painted them. And this is basically the story of this game is taking place in the early 90s. In that time, it's in an alternate universe, taking on it's basically the U.S. versus the Soviet Union, fighting in some Middle Eastern country fighting for some oil. It's probably in the Gulf region. Doesn't explain much, but that's basically the system in here. It used to similar to the gameplay from Barbarossa and what's that, the Samurai Battles. I had options if I wanted to get was see if I can get, like, I checked on the Barbarossa gameplay. It's pretty the same except it's World War II. I'm a fan of World War II, but since I have enough World War II like stuff like Axis and Allies and Flames of War, I decided to skip this one and go for a more modern one. And I haven't had a chance to play this, but once I do have it, I'll probably do a battle report on this one. It'll take a while for the review on the games. I'm doing a reading on the book on that one, so I know a little bit of the rules. It comes with these card systems. I'll try to explain a little detail on the cards as much as I can, but I will not go into all the rules. So let's see. And over here are the miniatures, the units. They have to be assembled. They're kind of like it's not hard. It's you probably don't need some glue on it, but some of them you might. But once assembled, you can play them, or if you willing to add more, if you have time, go for an extra mile. You willing to do that, you can paint them. You'll pop out that color, make it more acceptable. It comes with these flags over here for the units, like the infantry. That's just from the game system to identify. You don't need to have that there. I just put that there for references, but you can take them off. You can number them, especially when you're running multiples. It doesn't need to have it right there. But so, like my suggestion, just detail these miniatures, and it'll help that game more fun. Over here, the units are. Here are the several types of units you're gonna encounter on the board. There'll be the infantry, soldier types, and you got the heavy tanks, and you get the light tanks, armored vehicles, and for the aircraft units, as right now are helicopters. So that's the units right now on the board. So with future expansion, they'll add in more like vehicles and artillery units and probably light and heavy aircrafts. For the scale wise, it's comparable to Flames of War, the vehicles. These are like T-72s and BTRs and Abrams. They they are Flames of War scale. So is the helicopters, and I bet the aircrafts are gonna be similar to Flames of Wars because they're 144 scale and the helicopters are 144 scale. So that's pretty good. The infantry, they're 172nd scale. I don't know why they didn't put it on the same scale as a 15 mil, but for this is actually good for wargaming for this type of game because it's hex game. It's a um for designed for board games. So like I said, if you painted this, it'll pop out that culture texture right now. You can see it's pretty good with the painting, but the units, they're not that many. The gameplay for the game, the terrain for the board, it's made from cardboard. It's not piece of paper like in Axanalis miniatures. It also have like hexes, extra hex you can add in like this. You can add extra hex, and there's like terrains. You can have a 3D terrain there, like these things. You can like make it more 3D, so that helps up the game a bit, make it more 3D-ier. And it also has like rules for chemical warfare and fire and smoke, but I won't go to any of that rules because that's gonna take forever. But it's interesting. That's how it serves a realism. And I'll explain. Over here is the card system for the game. This is basically a laminated one. It's basically a dry off marker, so you can mark off the infantries and the ammunition. If you lost a guy, you can cross them out, and if you lost an ammunition or used them, cross them out or uncross the ammunition if you refill them. And it will save it the stats in here. These are the stats and how many dice for what unit they are firing on, how many dice you can use, and it also explains what hit what is the hit in this game. Let me explain about the hit rate, hit on the dice, what scores you can have. Basically in other games, this game is kind of different from another game. When instead of using a 4 or a 5 or a 6, it uses a 1, 2, or 3 as a hit. Depends on the unit, it can go up to 3. It's basically called a reverse die mechanic. It's just basically using the lesser hit dice, the hit score on a dice as the score hit. So 1 and 2 are regular hits. 3 is a special hit for a unit, like the helicopter over here, the Hind, and the Apache on the which hex range you can fire at close range or next range. So that's basically the hit detection for the card, and they have special abilities. So each turn is simultaneously. You can give them one order for one turn. So you can say if you want to set up an ambush position, you can cross out an ambush position. It'll give it add defense dice, or it adds some add defense. So that will help out. Also a certain ability for other units can also will tell there, like the Mi-24, they can carry troops, but the Apache cannot. So that's basically it. So every time you want to check if you're confused with the what symbols they are, you can there's a player aid that will help you in the game. So you can quick reference them, so it will help you out. So this is my rule for the cards. Now some of the nitpicking that I'm gonna tell about this in this game. There's some in the first one is something about the rules in the game, like searching units. If you look at over here, there's like five guys for the infantry to cross out before they're all killed. But if you look at over here for the stinger guys and the other support team like the machine gun and anti-tank teams for both sides, they're only down to two guys in there. So, but if you can see here for the stinger guys, they have like four guys. It shouldn't be this um five five guys four guys over here like this um in the in this base. So I hope they do really. I don't know why they did that like that, but I hope they do release um something to fix that on the on new edition. They release some new edition cards to fix this problem, because it has to match these guys, like four guys before it gets killed off, like, because that's kind of unfair, because if these guys are like five guys, you're probably gonna be fielding more of this guys over this. And there's another thing, it's the tank, not the tank, but some of the models when you buy them, like they seem to be omitting some of them. So it's some of the details are omitted when you buy when you bought them. So that's kind of a little bummer in there. It's that's the thing that I can get over with, because look at, I bought from a second one. I just from this is the first one I did, and I just modified that with added some styrene, if you can see it. So there's a little modification in there. And the final thing for my they need for the bad thing is the final thing is they need to fix in the from the manufacturing part of the game. When I bought this starter game during the summer, when I was assembling some of the units, some of them have like missing sprues for my two attack helicopters, and my BTR 80 from on the BTR is missing. It had identical sprues, so they have some sort of sprue problem in the game for some reason. I hope I hope it's not a very common thing. I hope they do fix this problem soon, or it's just one of those things they probably just got to the factories. But they really need to check on that problem a lot, because I really for people who actually, this was actually $69, and that's pretty. I tried to contact the guy who sold it to me, and he said it's the only company can do it, and I can't do it with their customer service. But luckily, I just decided to I just had to buy an extra one, and I had an extra two pair of attack helicopters that I assembled before I bought the starter. So that's need to be fixed with the sprue. So that's the problem for the game. That's my gripe on it. But the rest from the card and the detail, that's probably they could actually fix that in the second edition. Well, this is my overall for the game. It's it's a good it has some bad and some good. It has some mix, but once you can get past those stuff, like I said earlier, with the manufacturing problem or the shipping, you can it'll be a good game to have in your library if you're into the if you're into the Cold War stuff, miniature, you can. There's many options you can use for this game. If you can't play, if you have this and you want to try some mod rules, you can like you can mod it for other game systems, or you can buy the infantry. They sell them separately since you don't need the um starter set, the box set to if you're into the diorama for like Cold War stuff. It it's pretty good. I do love the 172nd infantries. They are pretty accurate, so I recommend you if you're into that, I recommend you get that one. For the vehicles, some of them are pretty good for Cold War, Flames of War or something, or other one hundred scale battles. You can crank them out. They're easy. If you're not, if you just, some of them are not well detailed, but you can also mod them. Like I had, like I said earlier, I mod that one. If you have the time, you can actually mod them. Recommend that you painted it, and you'll have a fun. I'm looking forward for the next for the expansion and for the and I'm kind of thinking of getting the samurai game because I think the samurai. I've been hearing some good reviews about the samurai battles. So this is my review for Arts of Tactics Hot War Battle for Oil. This is Delion France 60 signing off.